So today I am going to share my latest interview experience with Deloitte for the SAP analyst role. So just go to the screen. Here. So this is the mail which I received from Deloitte. So we have the interview for this role, HC HRST SAP analyst role. So I am going to discuss what types of questions they ask for the SAP Fury UI5 and all CAPM related. So first question they ask like what is MVC architecture? Okay. What is MVC architecture? So the thing is like in another interview, the first question any interviewer asks like tell me about yourself. But here they not ask me about my experience. They directly come to the question. So the thing is like if you have this kind of question, tell me about yourself, then interviewer want to ask about your strength and your weakness. So if you explain about yourself, then you explain all the projects you work on, then they ask about your projects only. But if interviewer not ask about yourself, then they have some prerequisite kind of thing. They have set of questions or they have a mindset to take interview based on that. Okay, so they directly come to the question. They're not asking about me anything. So you guys know what is MVC architecture. It is something like a model view and controller kind of thing in the CAPM based on microservices. So the first question they ask me like what is MVC architecture. Then second question they ask like what all types of data binding you use. Okay. So you know data bindings are like expression bindings, like this kind of data binding are used in the CAPM theory web applications when you try to for data binding, model binding, something like that. So when I give answer, they just ask like, can you please write a expression for write a expression or expression language. And so basically they want to know like am I really use this or not, like they want to validate this, so they just want to write the syntax, not more than that. So after that they ask me question like what is the difference between expression by difference in JSON model and OData model. So it's basically JSON model we used for content kind of thing, and OData model we used for backend kind of thing. So to bind the data with the model. Okay. So after this fourth question, they ask me so they just want to know like did you work with handlers, something like that. So when I say yes, then they want me to explain what it is, why we use it, something like that. So then so next question they ask like they want one coding question kind of thing. So they want to write the syntax for handler. So for that they ask like write down a handler function which returns the which price is more than 100, something like that. So they just want to add this function in the chat. So you just write the syntax and all these things, and they just want to validate that you know on it. So then they ask after this question, seventh question, they are like explain the architecture of FM based application and in which sequence it executes. So like the architecture, like DB service is there, app folder is there, in which UI is there, and the service is there through which we expose our services using our data. So they just want to like the sequence in which application runs and their architecture. Like sequence in something like which one runs first, like package.json, then which file runs, something like that. So you just, after explaining this, the next question they ask, difference between access app.json file and manifest one. Also, guys, like access app.json is used for routing and something like that, validation, and manifest.json, like it stores all the data source and destination kind of details, routing details, and all these things. So after explaining this, the next question they ask, like how security works in FM. Basically they want to ask like authentication, also authorization, all these things in details. So in this application, okay. Once I explain this, the next question they ask, like, did you work with YOE elements? YOE elements based application. Basically they just want to know, like, am I work with YOE elements, their annotations and all these things. So once I ask like yes, I work with, so the next question just they ask, like, did you deploy it by YOE element based application? And then they ask like how you deploy it. Basically in how section they want to, like, not only on Cloud Foundry, they just also want to know about the tile configuration, how we launch it on Fury Launchpad and all these things. So one by one they ask, like, when I give one answer, then they ask second question, like how tile is created, what is the role mapping and all these things. So one by one they ask questions like this. So these are all the questions they asked. Okay, so for Deloitte kind of company, you need to know the real examples of each use case. Like they ask me, whenever they ask any question, and if I use anything like data model or expression binding or something handlers, so they just want me, the next question they want, like, give some example, like if any expression kind of thing, syntax kind of thing, you just put it in the chat, and they just want to validate things like you know or you just lie. So these are my all experience. These are the all interview questions. So this interview almost gone for 40 to 45 minutes. So if any guys going for the Deloitte interview, so it might help you, and best of luck for your interview.
Please like, share and subscribe guys for more similar kind of videos. Thank you.